Hello and welcome, or should I say welcome back to Henry's Hideout. Today we're making another vintage tiki cocktail, music to my ears. This one's from 1957 from legendary bartender Harry Yee. Now Harry Yee is one of the tiki legends. Other than Don the Beachcomber and Trader Vic and Mario Liquidini, Harry Yee was another integral bartender that contributed a lot to tiki. He created drinks such as the Blue Hawaiian and the drink that we're going to make today, the Tropical Itch, which is a drink that is now on my home bar menu. Harry Yee didn't just contribute a bunch of iconic cocktails to tiki and just the world of craft cocktails. He also was the very first person to ever adorn a cocktail with an orchid flower. He was also the very first bartender, yes, the very first who ever put a parasol or an umbrella into a drink. He used to put sugarcane sticks in his drinks as garnish, and people would tend to chew on those after they finished their drinks, and then they would discard of those sugarcane sticks into the ashtrays, making a big, gross, sticky mess, and who was left to clean that up? Harry Yee. So he decided to swap out the sugarcane sticks for orchids, and then later the parasol. And hey, since he was on a roll, he figured, why not try to throw a frickin' back scratcher into his garnish pool. So that's what he did. He put a back scratcher in the drink that we're gonna make called the Tropical Itch, because maybe you're itching for that Hawaiian vacation, but you are broke or you're in the middle of your work week and you just need a little bit of escapism. So hence the Tropical Itch cocktail was born, and this back scratcher was a part of it. Also, I am going to change this spec up in a couple ways from how I usually make it. The recipe that I'm going to be using today from Lost Lake Tiki Bar in Chicago calls for tangerine juice, not orange juice. And also that recipe calls for bourbon. However, I've been making this drink with bourbon for a while now, and I'm curious to see what rye does to the drink. So we're going to be using rye instead of bourbon today. Rye is a little bit spicier, a little less sweet on the nose. So without further ado, guys, from 1957, let's make Harry Yee's Tropical Itch. For this drink, you will need a lemon, a tangerine, passion fruit syrup, an overproof Jamaican rum, rye or bourbon, John D. Taylor's Velvet Falernum, Angostura bitters, and an 80 to 20 saline solution. Start with 4 dashes of Angostura bitters. Follow that up with a ½ ounce of Velvet Falernum. Then we're going to do 3/4 ounce of passion fruit syrup. Then we're going to do 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Followed by 1 ounce of freshly squeezed tangerine juice. Then we're going to need 1 ounce of overproof Jamaican rum. I'm using Smith & Cross here. And then I'm going to use 1½ ounces of rye, but you can use bourbon as well. And finally, 5 drops of our 80-20 saline solution. Transfer your cocktail into a mixer tin. Add a little bit of pebble ice. And flash blend for 5 seconds. Dump the cocktail into our chilled hurricane glass. Top with pebble ice. And adorn with 3 pineapple fronds, 3 cherries attached to a parasol, and that damn back scratcher. And so from 1957, let's try Harry Yee's Tropical Itch. Whoa. My first impression right off the bat is I thought this was going to be a little too tart. Just smelling it in the glass, I was like, oh, this is going to be real tart. We didn't put any simple syrup in here. The only sweetness we got is from the passion fruit syrup and the tangerine. I'm not exactly sure how sweet my passion fruit syrup is. I don't have one of those measurers that tells you the bricks of syrups, like how sweet they are. But I do think that the Liber & Co. one is probably erring on the sweeter side. However, it's still a very tart syrup. I think the tangerine juice is actually doing some of the work here for cutting the tartness and making things really sweet. I've only made this drink in the past with orange juice. So does tangerine really matter? That's kind of what I wanted to test out today. And so far I'm saying yes. I'm saying the tangerine juice makes it sweeter than if I were to use orange juice. This is also the first time I've made this drink using rye, not bourbon. And I really thought that the rye would kind of stand up more to the passion fruit, which it really does. You can taste the rye more than the Smith & Cross, that's for sure. But on the back end, you do get a little bit of that subtle hogo that comes with the Smith & Cross. But yeah, man, talk about a vacation in a glass right here, equipped with back scratcher, you know. This is definitely one of the more elaborate garnishes I've done for the channel. I think it's definitely worth it though, to go out and get some tangerines and use tangerine juice instead of OJ here. On that sip, like right at the back, I really got a difference. I got the full tangerine flavor. I actually had a little piece of the tangerine as I was squeezing it, because I was like, I need to taste this to see if it's different from orange. And it was kind of hard to decipher, but I was like, it is sweeter. It's sweeter, but it's got a little bit of a different acidity to it. Your 1 ounce of lemon mixes perfectly with this. If this didn't have lemon, it would be a flat cocktail, that's for sure. I'm gonna stand by my choice here and using rye instead of bourbon. Bourbon already has that sweeter smell to it, more sugary smell. So I thought, hey, let's put 1.5 ounces of rye in this drink that is super juicy, super fruity. This is a get your bathing suit on, jump in the pool kind of drink. And yeah, this drink is on my menu because, I mean, I bought 3 back scratchers, so you gotta do it. But yeah, like I always say, tiki is really about the show. So when I saw this crazy garnish, I'm like, I gotta try this drink. I wanna hope that it's good so I can put it on the menu because, you know, who doesn't wanna get a ridiculous outlandish drink with a wooden back scratcher in it? I have a puddle here on my bar. My apologies. With tangerine juice instead of orange juice. I think it really elevates it enough to where before I have a luau, I'm gonna have to go out and make sure I have a few fresh tangerines on hand, just in case someone needs to scratch that tropical itch. This is Harry Yee's Tropical Itch. Go make one at home. As always, leave in the comments below what you thought of this drink. Have you tried it with tangerine juice instead of orange juice? Can you tell the difference? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys. My name's Jason. Mahalo. Cheers. Should I do it? Should I like scratch my... No, that's gross. No, I'm gonna put this in people's drinks. I don't... Should I? No.